Good evening. It's 2:30 in the morning. This is JT Walters. I am speaking to you tonight, as all of you may be aware, or those of you that are just tuning in. I've been fermenting, and I've been making kombucha, and I've been making ginger bug and making ginger ale, and I've seen a variety of information on the internet, and I just want to clear some things up from my experience at least. I live in Florida, so maybe it's a little warmer. On one of the videos, it said the bottles will not explode. So I basically said, well, I'm not going to really worry about it. It seems like if this was ever possible, somebody would have told me before. So, although I understand fractional distillation and how a still explodes, I didn't think it was possible in a fermentation process without heat to explode, especially when I had only let the bottle go 4 days, and it was with the ginger bug. The kombucha, I hope doesn't explode. It is kind of important to burp your bottles because I was in bed and I was asleep and in the middle of the night, and I thought it was going to be fun if it exploded. I was like, if it explodes, great. That's terrific. New experience. Not so much when you're asleep, and it's really not so much fun when the bottle explodes. So it was 4 days. I only let the ginger bug with the simple syrup sit on my refrigerator for 4 days without burping, and it exploded. And it was messy, and I am up in the middle of the night cleaning it up. It woke me up. It sounded like a gunshot, kind of really loud. And so the bottle's destroyed, the ginger ale's gone. But that's okay. You live and you learn, and this is a learning process. And so I just want to be clear that if you do fermentations of anything, I imagine even with a kombucha, it's true that you can end up having an exploding bottle. Bacteria and sugar compressed, or, and giving off CO2 in a bottle that can't escape probably needs to be burped. I would say, see, I didn't want to burp it because I wanted to force the carbon back into the drink to make it fizzy. But, now that the bottle has exploded, I'm thinking I'm going to burp at least every third day here in Florida. That's probably appropriate. Either that or I'm going to drink it. I just had stuck it up. The ginger bug and the ginger ale got ignored because I was busy working on the kombucha. And I had harvested, my new SCOBY, and I had done all that. And I did secondary fermentation, and I did all videos on that. And that, kind of put the ginger ale off to the side. I just, got busy and forgot about it. But you can have those things explode. So for the safety of your family, I would either, I also found out too, I just want to be clear, and I hate when I say on the videos, is that I noticed that the ginger ale loses its fizz if you put it in the refrigerator, even when it's carbonated, because the molecules shrink. And so when you go to drink it after it's got the CO2 in it, and you put it in the fridge, it kind of decarbonates. So what I've done is I've kind of stuck to sticking them. Also, I have limited refrigerator space. Sticking them in on top of the fridge and then drinking them one by one. Which, the kombucha will be gone in a few days. It's not going to be a big deal for me. But the other stuff is going to be, the ginger bug is I have my ginger buckets in the refrigerator, but the ginger ale bottle is just gone, and it's a huge mess. And I'm lucky it didn't take out the kombucha too, because they were right next to each other, and the bottle could have exploded and knocked over the kombucha bottles. Fortunately, the bottles that I bought online were really heavier bottles, so it didn't take it out. But it was a mess. It was not fun. So just please burp your bottles. Know your limits on this, and um, if you don't want to refrigerate, because that's what I should do with all my bottles now, is just refrigerate them because they're all carbonated. But if you don't want to refrigerate, then go ahead and um, because you can refrigerate them and then take them back out, let them warm up, and then serve them over ice, and they'll be just as fizzy. The carbon dioxide builds back up in the bottle. Um, if you I hate saying that, sorry. Uh, so all I'm saying is they do explode, and just once they've sat out. The ginger bug, the longest I think is 3 days. The kombucha on a secondary ferment, I wouldn't do longer than 2 days, and then I would go ahead and refrigerate, just to be on the safe side. And then when you go to serve it, just take it out like an hour early and serve it over ice, and it'll be just fantastic. You won't have an issue. I haven't had an issue with the mason jars. They seem to give off enough CO2. But with the ginger bug, if I didn't burp the jars, um, the lids tended to bend, the metal lids. So I'm up in the middle of the night cleaning up an exploding ginger ale bottle from making homemade ginger ale. So I just wanted to let everybody know that is a real valid concern, that bottles do explode when fermenting. So anyways, this is JT Walters. If you're not laughing with me, then please laugh at me, because I am totally here to entertain you. And thank you for watching the videos. Have a lovely evening.